Good afternoon, and it's a great pleasure to be here at the Yea Football Club. And we're here today for the game in the Outer East First Division. Yea and Warburton Millgrove. Warburton Millgrove made the grand final last year in this competition, got beaten by Hillsville. And it was a big year for the borough because it was the first time that they won finals since 2006 when they last won the flag. They lost the first final narrowly to Hillsville, then won the next two to make it through to a grand final. For Yea, it's been a tough few years. In 2022, just to try and field a team, they joined forces with Broadford to try and be competitive in the third division at the time, which was the Outer East second division competition, which was basically their regional or country competition that they had in place as part of the Outer East structure a few years ago. 2023, they went into recess. Mitch Scully came back to coach the club. He'd had a lot of experience with the Darabin Falcons women's team just to get them ready for 2024, and the club went out and recruited some players and had a good year last year, just missing out in the finals, winning 8 and losing 8. This year, not making a great start to the year. 1 win, 4 losses, and one of their losses was by 1 point. Warburton 4 wins and 1 loss, and have had 2 massive wins so far this year. A pretty good side, the Warburton side, and one of their key players is Tom Baker, who's left the MP FNL. He played at the Frankston YCW Stonecats and then Hastings, and he's now in his second year with the Warburton side, and a player to watch today, averaging 26 possessions a game, along with Patrick Hun, who's averaging 31. They've got some very good players in this side, and Tom Barr as well, who's having a pretty good year as well. He's kicked 12 goals and also averaging 26. As far as the opposition Yea is concerned, they've had to go out and recruit a bit, and they've picked up some good players from the Eastern Football League, and among them Hayden Marks. He's come from Chirnside Park in the last couple of years. They've also managed to pick up a pretty good player who's come from Blackburn in the Premier Division of the Eastern League in Tyler Faulkner. And they're run basically by the 3 Evans boys, whose father Doggy is a legend, not only in the Yea Football Club but the Yea Cricket Club. And Doggy, of course, has got 3 sons. Daniel, a former president of the club, and he is an assistant playing coach today to help Mitch Scully out. There's also Charlie Evans and the captain, Patrick Evans, who's having a pretty good year, averaging over 23 possessions a game. Sutherland is their key forward, Corbin Sutherland, who kicked 69 goals and throughout a long career in local footy, he's kicked 1,000 goals. He is out of the side today, so they'll certainly miss him. As far as Warburton's concerned, no Aldridge, the number 1 ruckman. His wife is due to give birth any day, so we wish the Aldridge family all the best. And they've also got a couple of other players out injured, but generally a pretty strong Warburton side as they try and make it 5 from 6, having dropped just the 1 game so far to Seville, and that was back in round 4 by 9 points. Great pleasure to be here today for the Hillsville Greyhounds, the major sponsor of our coverage in the Outer East Division 1 competition. The scoreboard sponsors today will be the Local Footy Hub app. Make sure you get your hold of your Local Footy Hub app and find out what's happening not only in the Outer East Division 1 comp, but the Premier Division as well, where Wandon are on top of the table, and we'll update you with scores of the games involving the Bulldogs and all the other teams in the Outer East Premier Division today. We'll also be looking for our Best On Ground award for Redder's suspension. Petter's suspension, I should say. Have to learn to read my own writing. Goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team. And mark of the day is Game Face Vision, and we'll get some interviews at the end of the day. A big day too for Yea. They've got their 2003-2005 Premiership reunion, so the team would love to perform well in front of their home crowd. And the interesting aspect today, I really do like the Borough's colours, but both teams have got black backdrops for their numbers, and they're also white numbers. Yea are yellow and black, they're the Tigers, and as I say, Warburton and Millgrove are the Borough. They are black, blue and white on the front, a bit like St Kilda in the way it's designed, and then black on the back, so not as easy to discover as one would like. But looking at the ladder, and Pakenham are on top of the table. The teams are certainly spread location and geographical wise. 9 teams in it, so each team has a bye each week. So we've got Pakenham on top of the table, 392.73 is their percentage. Seville also undefeated and 24 points, 242.02. Looking to do well this year, Seville, after bowing out with losses in both finals last year. Warburton on 20 points. They've got the bye in hand as well. 4 wins, 1 loss. A great percentage for the Borough, 321.90. Yarra Glen, 4-1, 121.41. Yea, 1-4 and 8 points, and they're making up the top 5, 86.75. Same with Alexandra. Belgrave have the bye today, and they're on 8 points with 2 wins, 4 losses, including a 1-point victory over Yea, which could be a loss that might haunt the Tigers later in the season, 77.68. Powertown, 1 win, 4 losses, 8 points, 39.75. And Yarra Junction finding it tough. And they're on the bottom of the table with a pretty ordinary percentage of 21.48. We're about to get underway. And looking forward to today's clash. And the Borough will be defending at the river end of the ground. And will be attacking at the netball or tennis courts end of the ground. Big complex here. Probably would love another oval. I know a few of the Warburton boys were saying we're training on the concrete before the game. So we're underway. And Wooldridge, the big man, wins it down. Does well as they try and get the first possession out of the middle of the ground there. The Borough not able to. Wooldridge's second effort was pretty good. So thrown up again. A lot of players around the contest. And there might be a free kick here. And straight away getting a whack and coming up with the ball is Barr. Gets the hand pass out. His teammate didn't take it with him. It was Baker. And then a player was taken in a tackle, Evans. Free kick. The Borough have an opportunity to try and clear. Good defence by Yea. They try and get a hand pass out. It came from Dan Evans, but the hand pass was run down. And then there may have been a free kick also against Yea for in the back. But the umpire lets it go. And Yea try and clear to the half-back flank on the outer side or the social club room side. Bring it back though, Reed. Reed scrubbers a kick inside 50 for the Borough. Loose ball, trying to pick it up. Player goes to ground, might be taken in a tackle and will receive a free kick. The reliable Dan Evans averaging just under 23 possessions a game for Yea. Yes, the black backdrop with the jumper is going to be hard to pick. Kick straight down the middle to centre half-back. Picks out a target. Kicks towards the wing. No one can take the mark. Loose ball. Chance now for Borough to try and get it. They can't. At the back, Evans. High ball. Throws it on the boot, but a comfortable mark completed by Warburton Millgrove at half-back, and they go wide. Ferrugia. And it came from Lee, who's the captain, who intercepted nicely. Ferrugia's kicked 10 goals. Kicked too close to the man on the mark. Cleared at the back. Good play to get a hand pass out by Marks, but it had too much on it. He'll go back in and try and get the footy again. Ball to be won. Also trying to get involved there was Yea as they kick towards the wing, attacking the footy hard, taken in a tackle, brought to ground. Could have almost been a free kick against Graham, who's come out of retirement, and it'll be held up on the wing. Knocked down again. Forgery got involved in too for Yea. Handball on the outside. Quick kick came from Ferguson as Barr got the hand pass to him, but it's a turnover at half-back. On the left, straight down the line, a high ball from Evans towards the wing. Dan Evans had a bit of the footy. Off hands, no one can take the mark. Big Pretty, he couldn't hang on to it for the Borough. Then he lays a tackle and holds it up. Attacking side of the wing in front of our commentary position, which is where the old scoreboard is. No scorers yet. We're here for the Hillsville Greyhounds. Good hand pass Horn to Baker through traffic. His old man's right next to me watching closely. He has a bounce. He's at half forward. He kicks into the pocket. Good kick, and it had the carry on the kick and picks out a teammate in Humphrey who takes the mark in the right forward pocket. Good work from the stoppage there by the Borough. Now Humphrey kicked 7 goals in the first 2 games that Warburton played. Goalless in the last 3. Kicked 33 goals last year. Slide angle. Same name as the star inside bull for the Gold Coast. Bailey Humphrey. He manages to slot it home at the netball court end of the ground here at Yea. And the first goal is on the board. And that gets the Borough away after they won their previous two encounters against Yea last year. And that's on the local footy hub app. The first goal of the day to Bailey Humphrey of Warburton Millgrove, whose most famous name when it comes to AFL footy is Terry Wheeler, 157 games, and was also a very good coach at the Dogs, and I think was treated pretty badly. 50 wins, 40 losses. Not too many have got a good win-loss record like that. Luke Beveridge is one of them, although they blew a big opportunity the other day, but that's another story. So a goal on the board to Humphrey. So they're away the Borough. Ball's in the middle of the ground. Wooldridge does well to knock his opponent out of it. Hurry kick comes inside 50 from the boot of Lee again for the Borough. Cleared at the back by the Yea team, and they find the boundary line on the outer side. And it'll be thrown back into play. It's like a little bit of a slope on that outer side of the ground, it seems, from here. First time I've had the privilege of being up at Yea. Lovely drive up this morning. Lovely part of the world. Got a cousin who lives not too far away from here as a farm. Kate and Craig, if you're listening. And Grace, good afternoon. Quick kick out of the pack. Didn't quite have the carry from Patrick Evans, but they may get an opportunity as they go inside 50. But good defence at the back. Well played by the Borough team, and Big Trend takes the mark. He's a big figure, isn't he? They've got the footy at half back. The left footer, Caneva, down the line in front of the grandstand. No one can mark. Off hands for Ruja. Has the kick run down. A chance now for Yea. Kicks towards half forward. But again, the defence pretty good for the Warburton team, and they kick down the line. Unable to find a target. But there will be a free kick off the plane. It'll go to Horn, who's averaging 31 possessions a game. Horn in short. Good kick, picks out for Ruja, looks to take on an opponent. Does well to fend him off. Kicks into the pocket. Good looking kick. I think Humphrey may have been accosted. He was. He'll get a free kick. He was taken high as it was a low darting ball into that left forward pocket at the netball court end of the ground, and he copped one high and has an opportunity to kick his second and his 9th of the season. Changes are being made. Fordry comes off for Yea as he goes across the face. Humphrey with his kick on that occasion, and it's 1-1-7-0. Back into play. They try and play on, and a player was brought down. It was the wrong option in the end. Jack Renix, who's come from East Brighton, received it in the back pocket, elected to play on and was run down by Humphrey, who's red hot at the moment for one of the plays of the day. And a great mow down from behind. 25 metres out. After the turnover, he kicks the goal. 2-1, 13-0. Humphrey's got the entire score for Warburton Millgrove on the local footy hub app scoreboard, thanks to our major sponsor, which is the Hillsville Greyhounds. So Humphrey looking good. As I say, kicked 33 last year, but been goalless in the last 3, even when they kicked the sweep against Yarra Junction. Restricted them to 8 and kicked over 240. They had 13 goal kickers that day. Thrown up in the middle. Wooldridge. Must have been a bet to get that interesting hairstyle he's got. He's shaved the head and he's got a little bit of a ponytail hanging out the back. I could nearly do that. I hardly have any hair. He goes up on the ruck again and beats Pell, but taken out of the middle by Rex, and he kicks towards half forward. Doesn't quite find the target. They've got men down there, Yea, as they try and burst their way through. The big man, Searley, does well at ground level to try and hustle and bustle it out for the Tigers. At centre half forward, looking to burst through. Well done by Lee. Got a hand pass out, but intercepted coming the other way. Well done by Marks of the Tigers. Kicks towards the pocket in front of the marquee where a lot of the past players from the last two premierships for Yea are camped. It'll be a boundary throw in at half forward. A rare move forward for Yea, trailed by 13 points in the opening quarter. Knocked down by Wooldridge of Warburton and Millgrove. And held up in a tackle is Marks, who's come across from Churnside Park to play for Yea this year. And then Rothwell received the tap from his teammate Wooldridge. And he was unable to extricate himself from a pretty strong tackle for Warburton. Loose ball again. Handball comes out. Rexon does well. Gets the hand pass out. And there's a snap towards goal by Patrick Evans, who's averaging over 23 possessions. He kicked off the edge of the boot and it sails out of bounds in the pocket. Renick's doing well so far for the Tigers. A couple of changes about to be made here. Boundary throwing. Back into play. Loose ball. Player taken high. It's going to be a free kick. And it'll go to Marks, who's been prominent. Bit will-o'-the-wispish at half forward for Yea. And he was taken front on. And he'll get the free kick at centre half forward. Looking to kick his teams first. Quinny coming on. He's back at the club this year after working for the Mines in WA for a while. Long, high ball. Has it got the carry right on the line? Good defence by Preddy. It's just kept alive. Handball comes out. Close to the boundary line. Graham receives it. And then terrific work to keep it alive by Renix and get it back to his teammate in Evans, who takes the mark, Patrick Evans. And although the goal umpire says that it had actually gone through for a behind as they tried to keep it alive. It was a late call. So their first score is on the board, local Footy Hub app. 2-1, 13-1 behind the entire score. The boot of Bailey Humphrey. Back into play. Lee to the half-back flank. Loose ball. Doing well to retain his feet. Ferrugia runs away from his opponent in Palmer. Handball's inside now towards Semple. Semple was run down for the Borough. Loose ball comes out. Good work to try and clear. Well done by Quinny. Got the hand pass out. His teammate wasn't able to get hold of it. Close to the boundary. Horn taken in a tackle. Picked up now. High left foot kick down the line by Yea and run out of bounds by Preddy. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Big Ben Willsmere did well then with a high left foot kick. He's come back from Hillsville to rejoin Yea. He's replaced Pell in the ruck. Boundary throw-in at half forward. Wooldridge beats Willsmere. Getting a hurried kick out again is Patrick Evans. Picked up by Marks. Nearly run down. Handball's in front of him. Loose ball. Trying to pick it up at the back is Lee. Lee is hunted hard. 30 out from the goal. They're defending at the moment for the Borough. They get a hurried ball. Couldn't take it cleanly. Was simple. It's a hot footy. Picked up coming the other way. High kick towards the goal line. Good effort by Yea, but it just lands a little bit short, and the kick came from Experin and a mark last line of defence to Pretty again, the centre half back. He'll head to the outer side of the ground, looking for someone to mark, and they do. Excellent intercept mark. And that's taken by Madison Lee, who's come to the club this year for the Yea Footy Club from South Marine. His kick scrubs. Turned over again. They try and get the kick inside 50. A high ball from Yea. And once more, the delivery not as good as it could be. And the kick came in from Jack Christie, who's the vice-captain of the team. But didn't quite get it where he wanted it. But he has found a target, believe it or not. Off the edge of the boot, across the face. And it goes out of bounds in the outer forward pocket. Gee, that was an ordinary kick, but it found the target. It will be a boundary throw-in. Tap down again. Loose ball. Quick kick out. Again going the wrong way. It didn't go the required distance, but it sort of went the wrong way for the right reason there by Yay. Trying to find a target. And the youngest of the Evans was crunched in the tackle as the kick came from brother Patrick. And there'll be a free kick. Willsmere handballs at close quarters to Evans. Gets the kick run down. Loose ball. Picked up by Renix. Renix also absorbs some pressure. Plenty of that as it's on the edge of the square on the outer side of the ground in front of the change rooms. It'll be thrown up 2-1, 13 to 1 behind. Sandals was the player that had the shot at goal for Yay as it comes out again to Evans. He kicks it high inside 50. Oh, it's been hacked out of mid-air. Oh, it's a party trick. What a goal. Kicked towards the goal square and hacked out of mid-air by, well, a man I didn't think was capable of doing it. Candidate for goal of the day, the big fella Sealy. He just threw his boot at it, Jackie Chan style, to make something out of nothing. And Yay have their first. They are 1 straight 6 to 2-1 13 on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard. That's a candidate for our goal of the day. We've only had 3, but that's the one that probably stands out. Doing well to form a wall around half forward, Yay, to try and get the ball inside 50 and make it tough for Warburton to play their style of footy off half back. Tap down again. Rebound footy. It's loose in the middle. Good tackle laid by Walker of Warburton. Knocked down in the middle of the ground. Getting rid of it, Hun. Handball goes nowhere though. Good hurry kick by Yay towards half forward. At the back, Lee's been pretty solid. Gets the hand pass out now to Baker. Did well to make something good of that as it was at his bootlaces. Kicks towards the wing on the outer side. And well played by Quinny to get in front and fits that away from oncoming traffic, of which Reed was the intended target for Warburton, out of bounds in front of the social club rooms on that outer side. 2-1 13 to 1-1-7, a 1-goal lead. Halfway mark opening term. In front of the social club rooms, there might be a free kick. It'll go against Woolridge. It'll go to the big man, Willsmere. He kicks high, inside 50. Through the hands of Pell at the back. Good play by Walker to get a hand pass out. He rode that nicely. Simple also gets hands free. And looking to clear. Off half back is Marr. Marr's kick goes sideways for Warburton Millgrove. Couldn't find the target he was looking for. It's out of bounds. Attacking side of the wing for Yay in front of the social club rooms. The Yay Town Hall in the background there. Young Josh looking after the camera work today. Great to have him with us. Knocked down once more in this Outer East First Division competition. Brought down on a tackle mark. Could have nearly been holding the ball. Loose ball. But again, good defence by Yay. High ball inside 50. Getting underneath it. Trying to take the mark. Was Nduza for the Warburton team. And then great tackling as they try to get hold of it. Warburton Millgrove player was run down on a tackle. Marr. And a free kick at right half forward to Renix. Great tackle right in front of the past players. You could hear them say, ball, like you could hear at the MCG. And Renix with the free kick, an opportunity to kick his team second and level the scores. Getting a lot of forward 50 entries and keeping the ball inside 50 as he misses to the right-hand side at the river end. And it's 1-2-8 to 2-1-13. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Our goal of the day for Peddlers. Back into play. Didn't find the target again. They're not quite hitting their targets inside their defensive 50. The intended player was Barr, had to lay a tackle in the end. He's averaging 26 possessions and kicked 12 goals this year. Whacked down again. Close to the boundary. Good hand pass came out from Trend. They have it around that outer side now. Involves Semple. Gets the hand pass out to Horn. Handball's inside again. On the end of it, Bar. Beat one, beat two. Handball's back now to Horn. Horn will go in short to half forward, and it comes off. They're under some pressure, and in the end, they worked pretty hard despite the opposition coming towards them, and Faruja was able to fit into the hole and take the mark at centre half forward at the netball end of the ground. That's what they want to do. They want to be able to run off half back, slingshot, and get their running game going, the Warburton Millgrove Boroughs. And the shot at goal misses to the left-hand side. That's through for a behind by Faruja. Normally an accurate kick. Caneva comes back on the ground for the Borough. 2-2-14 to 2-1-13. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. As I said, goal of the day for Petters. And you'd have to say that Big Sealy's the candidate at the moment. Into play. Short kick. Into the back pocket. Rennick's had a bit of it early. Kicked 8 goals so far this year. One of the keys. Looks to come inside. Ball towards the centre of the ground. Bouncing ball. May give his teammate a chance to run onto it. He does. This is Nicho, but Nicho's kick is a horror. Straight on the chest of the only defensive player down there for Warburton, Millgrove and Enduza. Enduza in short. Finds a target. It's Walker. Walker wide to Baker. Baker in short to Barr. Barr takes the mark just behind the wing. Commentary side of the ground as Palmer gets ready to come on for the Tigers. Kicks to half forward. Well done, Reid. Judged it to a nicety. Marks in front of Dan Evans. Reid with the knee bandaged and the bright blue boots. Kicks to half forward. Bit of pushing and shoving going against Wooldridge. And it'll be a free kick to the Tigers. And it'll be taken by Nicholson. Seen as the most eligible bachelor in Yea. Gets the hand pass off to Renix. Delivers in short to McSperrin, who marks behind the wing for Yea. Had Quinney in very short. He goes in short. Comes off to Evans. Evans handballs to older brother Patrick. Patrick's kick is no good. Interception in the wing. High ball. Bouncing ball for Warburton Millgrove by Hewitt towards the goal line, but there's no one there to collect for them to finish it off. And it should be cleared. Last line of defence it is. And they're able to get it through Nicholson. It gets it to the outer side of the ground. Puts his teammate under a little bit of pressure, but he still gets boot to ball. And that was good work to bring it around the boundary line by Ferguson. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. Just trying to switch it back a couple of times has got Yea into trouble. Trail by a point. Tap down Willsmore doing the ruck work. Then a very, very strong tackle laid. Might nearly be a sling tackle. Renix has been superb so far. Candidate for BOG. Delivers into the middle of the ground. It's going to come back. He had found a target. That target was Papadopoulos, who's come off now. He was a late inclusion for Witten, who was ill, and we hope he's okay. Just the teenager, still at school, young Papadopoulos. So Renix with the footy at half back. In front of the timekeeper's box on the outer side of the ground here at Yea. Overcast day, but still pleasant enough for football. And they'd be quite happy with the way they're going so far, the Tigers. They trail by a point, close to quarter time for the Healesville Greyhounds. Our major sponsor today. Renix hoisting it down the line, close to the boundary, not a great kick. And it is tracked out of bounds by Caneva of Warburton. It'll be a boundary throw in on the wing on the outer side. Powell. Nelson. Hurried ball close to the boundary. Patrick Evans out of bounds. He and Cameron, his brother, having a bit of the footy so far. Daniel playing in the back line, patrolling the troops as the playing assistant coach and former president of this proud club. Glenn Elliott, a very famous name from this club, Staff of St Kilda won a best and fairest and was in the centre of the 71 grand final, of which David Parkin, who played in that, legend of the AFL, David, of course, more ways than one as a coach and a player, said no one touched the footy in the first half. It was that physical. It'll be thrown up right in front of the social club rooms. One down by Powell, off the edge of the boot for the Tigers. Bouncing ball. Overrunning it, Kaniva. Socket off the ground again. Looking to try and get it. He's in the van there, Noonan, for the Warburton team, and he'll take a free kick at half-back. He'll kick to centre half-back. That kick is fine. Finds Walker. Walker to Anduza. Awkward kicking style. And Ferguson. Ferguson does well. Runs away from Quinn. In short on mark drop, which should have been taken by the normally reliable Hun. Picked up at ground level. Good play by Ma. He did well. He's kicking almost the wrong way. Semple had the ball fisted away and forced over the boundary for a boundary throw-in. Wonderful defence by Jack Christie, who apparently loves dim sims, so I wonder if they're at the kiosk whether he might have a few tonight after the game. Boundary throw-in. Tap to the front. Going after it. Not able to pick it up, though, was Mitchell. His teammate Ma does well. Kicks towards the forward pocket. And the siren sounds as Ferrugia was darting, toing and froing, trying to get away from opponents. So a pretty good opening quarter of footy. And I dare say they'd be quite happy with what they've done so far. They're 1-2-8, the Yay Tigers, and they trail Warburton, who are red-hot favourites here, 2-2-14. And just 2 goal kickers. Humphreys kicked both for Warburton to give him 9 for the season. And 1 goal, a terrific goal, a candidate for our goal of the day for Petters. For the big fella, Searley, who just hacked his boot at it in the goal square. So 2-2-14 to 1-2-8 on the local Footy Hub app. Scoreboard, of course, for our major sponsor, which is the Hillsville Greyhounds. Don't forget, of course, the footy show with Aidan and Steph every Tuesday night for the Outer East. And there's lots to dissect from the 2 competitions. Talking of which, let's go around the grounds and find out what is going on in both comps. We'll start, obviously, with the Premier competition, Wandon being undefeated, and 5 games on today. So Alinda Ferny Creek second on the table, playing Hillsville, of course, came up last year after winning the flag at 6-2-38. Hillsville 3-1-19. Upway 3-3-21, trail Mount Evelyn 5-2-32. Gembrook Cockatoo 3-3-21, leading Woori Yallock. That could be a real upset, 1-4-10. And Wandon have blown Officer away, top against bottom. It's 5-7-37 to nothing. And Monbulk have made a good start at home against Emerald. 3-2-20. Mark Pettis' team, one of our great sponsors, 3 behinds. Looking at other fixtures, and obviously the Division 1 seniors, which is what we have today. Warburton leading Yay by a goal. Our match of the day, Yarra Junction Seniors 2-4-16, Alexandra 5-3-33, Seville 4-4-28, Powertown 2 straight 12, and in a close game, Yarra Glen 2-4-16 against the undefeated top team, Pakenham 2-3-15. We'll take a break and we'll come back with the second quarter shortly, and the score in the local Footy Hub app scoreboard here at Yay. 2-2-14 is Warburton Millgrove, both goals to Bailey Humphrey, and a magnificent hacked goal out of midair from the goal square by the big ruckman Searley of Yay. They're 1-2-8, and we thank our major sponsor, which of course is Hillsville Greyhounds. Back with the second quarter shortly. Welcome back to Yay. Second quarter about to start for Hillsville Greyhounds Outer East Division 1. Dan Lonigan here. Pleasure to be here. Yay and Warburton. Yay fifth on the ladder. Warburton third, but Warburton have won 4 games. Yay just one so far. And they're 1 goal down at quarter time. The Yay Tigers at home. A quick hand pass came from Barr. He got it out defensively. Put his teammate Walker under the pump. Chance for a shot at goal. A bouncing ball. Has it gone all the way? I think it might have. No, touched right on the line, and Doozer just got there. It was a big kick out of the middle of the ground that's been touched, and Doozer just got his outstretched hands to it. From the kick from Ferguson, kick back into play. I should say from Hargraves, and the mark taken by Hun. Hun has to work around an opponent. He does. He lowers the eyes. He kicks in short. Finds the target. This is Mitchell taking the mark at half back. It's 139 to 22-14. Would have been one of the goals of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies if that had have gone through. It's close to the boundary line. It's kept alive by Faruja. He shook the tackle, got it to the coach, Yakimo, kicks towards half forward. This away, that away. Feeding a long hand past Nelson. Misses the target. Cleared at half back. Good play to get the ball towards the wing. That was by Faulkner, who's come to them from Blackburn this year. Yay. Towards half forward, the big man Graham works hard at ground level to keep it inside 50. Had some opposition from Lee, who receives a hand pass that was just picked up at ground level magnificently for Warburton Millgrove, and the player that picked that up at ground level, made that look simple, was Yakimo, the captain, and then the mark taken by Barr, I should say. Having a great season. Barr, low and flat. Hun's on his own, another one, averaging 31 possessions a game. He'll go laterally into the middle of the ground. He'll pick out his teammate under some pressure. Caneva takes on 1, takes on 2, feeds a hand pass now, gets it back on the old 1-2, did pretty well. Kicks long towards full forward. Bouncing ball goes to the back of the pack and through for a behind. Daniel Evans was able to escort it through. 2-3-15, 1-3-9, 1 goal lead. Back into play. Renix gets the hand pass out. Not a great hand pass, but his teammate Nicholson under pressure had to bend down and try and find it. Couldn't. It goes out of bounds in front of the marquee, where a lot of the Premiership heroes are today. From 2003 and 2005, it'll be a boundary throw-in. Last time they made the finals, 2016. The Yay Footy Club tapped down close to the boundary, looking to rove and try and take them on. But taking in a tackle was Reed, and he had to get rid of it in a hurry. He was accosted fiercely front on, and it's out of bounds at half forward inside 50 for the Warburton Millgrove Boroughs. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. You can get all your details of the Outer East comp. Both teams working hard over the footy as it spilled out Yay's way, still at half back in front of the social club rooms. Going in harder doors, who's come back from Queensland this year. Loose ball, player taken without it. And Eldors will get that free kick. A hero of this football club, as I say, spent some years in Queensland. He's come back and playing some good footy. He'll launch it long towards the grandstand, but camped underneath it. Walker takes a good intercept mark in the long sleeves for the Borough. Will switch to the broadcast side. Comes off nicely. On the left, the kick towards the wing from Noonan. Looking for Mitchell, who got a bad bounce and put an opponent under pressure. He'll get a free kick for a high tackle. And this is the hard nut McSpirin. Prides his game on Braden Maynard of Collingwood. In short, finds Renix. Renix on the left. Awkward looking kick off the side of the boot, but the target's okay to Palmer. Palmer at half back, out of sight for the Tigers. They trail by a goal. Kicks down the line. Looking for a target at half forward. And in the end, he does find one. Getting on with it quickly. Beautiful kick by Madison Bell. Finds his teammate who kicks long to full forward. And they've managed to get a player on the end of that taking a mark and having a shot at goal. And this is Fordry, who does often train in bare feet. He has a wobbly shot at goal from 25. He nearly looked like he kicked that in bare feet. Or, as he trained today, with his laces not tied up. Good movement. They had the Warburton Millgrove defence disorganised then, but they should have finished it off from 25 metres out like the Bulldogs on Thursday night. Missing gettable shots at goal. 1-4-10, 2-3-15. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. And, of course, that is for the Hillsville Greyhounds, our major sponsor today. Back into play, Walker. To the outer side. Mark dropped by Noonan, but had time to pick it up and launch on the left of the wing. Wooldridge couldn't mark it. Storming through. This is a great opportunity for a goal. Long bomb. Palmer from 45 metres kicks one of the goals of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies. Daniel Bowman and the team. Bad miss by Big Wooldridge at half forward. And it slips to the little bloke and he has kicked an absolute ripper. And he's put his team right in the mix here. Playing pretty good footy. They've kicked the last couple. In fact, it was Nicho who kicked that goal, and he puts himself in contention for goal of the day, one of their new players this year. Looks a bit like Palmer, but slightly smaller. So, it's 2-4-16. Yay, 2-3-15. Their opponents, Warburton and Millgrove, have kicked the first two. Yay have kicked the last two. Both contenders for goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies. Looking for a mark of the day for Game Face Vision. We haven't got one yet. Good play to run away. Beat a couple of opponents. Caneva kicks towards half forward on the outer side in front of the marquee. And it goes out of bounds again. Good pressure provided by Nicholson of Yea. Didn't have a lot of support there. It was probably 2 to 3 on 1 in favour of the Borough inside 50 in that forward pocket. But boundary throw in. It's a lovely goal. Back into play. Tap down Nelson at the Rove. Hurry kick Faulkner towards the wing. Getting back, trying to mark it was Preddy, couldn't at ground level. The kick, the turnover from Faulkner. Now they get it to half forward. Warburton Millgrove. Quick swing around the body. Bouncing ball towards the forward pocket by Hewitt off hands. And it's through for another behind down at the river end. Scores are now level, 2-4-16 apiece. Early stages, second quarter. Daniel Evans back into play. Launching low and flat. Hits a target at half back. That's his brother, Cameron, who takes the mark. And he finds a leading forward, Graham, who gets on with it quickly. Towards half forward. No one can take the mark. Loose ball, a lot of players around the contest. Warburton will clear. Through Ferguson. Hurried ball towards the wing. And Renix has given away a free kick in a one-on-one contest. And it'll go to Semple at half-back on the outer side, just near that beautiful old grandstand. Stands out like a beacon. And it will be a boundary throw-in. Or is it a kick again? It's a kick again. Bar. In short, Lee, the captain. Half-distance pass. Yakimo, the playing coach, the veteran. Been coaching for a while, steers in nicely. Barr kept going. Baker's been quiet so far. Kicks towards half forward. They play on and kick long towards an open goal. It's a bouncing ball. There was no one home. Goal. Terrific goal. Candidate for goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies. Barr got on the end of that. He just kept running 2 or 3 movements he was involved in then. He just knows how to get to each contest, and he's also in contention for BOG. The Petters having a huge influence on this game. So they're back in front. 3-4-22 to 2-4-16 by goal. Thrown up again. Waldridge. Pell wins it down for the Tigers. Yakimo feeds a hand pass over the top. Barr is just cutting them apart. He runs into trouble, puts the ball on the turf. Handballs to Yakimo. Yakimo kicks down the line. Good mark taken by Noonan. He'll drive it long to half forward. Waiting down Humphrey. Had it fisted away. Close to the boundary. And it's run out of bounds by Palmer. It'll be thrown back into play 20 metres around from the goal they're defending at the river end with Warburton Millgrove a goal in front. So 1 goal apiece this quarter. Warburton a goal up. Back into play. 22 to 16. Arriving out of the ruck. Taken by Hewitt, who gets the kick smothered. And then there's another kick towards goal. And it's off hands and through for a behind. Bit of chaos football inside the attacking 50 by the Borough. And they managed to get another behind and increase their lead. 3-5-23 to 2-4-16. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Dan Evans will inbound now for the Tigers. And you'll get all the details in this game on the footy show during the week. Aidan and Steph looking after that for the Outer East. Season 2025. Evans back into play. Favours the outer side. Sandals takes the mark. Kicks towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Gets to the back of the pack. Picked up now by Marks. Marks gets a hurried boot to ball. The kick was affected and it rolls and bumbles and bubbles its way along the boundary and eventually goes out of bounds right beside the behind post. So good transition on that outer side of the ground or social club room side and grandstand side of the ground here at Yea for the Tigers with some good work hugging the boundary to get it very deep inside their attacking 50. The trail by goal. Back into play. Knocked to the back. Pell picked up now. Snap it, goal. Great effort, magnificent performance. That is Eldoas who's kicked the goal. The stoppage was at his bootlaces. He was under some pressure, just threw it on the boot, hoping for the best, and also puts his name up in lights for goal of the day, although we just check with the goal umpire, who now indicates with the 2 fingers that it's a goal. And could have nearly been touched, but it wasn't. So, well done. They cut the margin to 1 point, getting an important goal from stoppage there, the A Tigers. 3-4-22. They trail Warburton 3-5-23 on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard. So good contest here. 2 goals to 1 this quarter for Yea. Right in it. Looking for their second win of the year. Tap down. Taken defensively. And the clearance by Yakimo. Now to Barr again, who shakes a tackle. Magnificent gather and pick up. Kicks towards half forward. Great kick. And finds Ferrugia, who climbs high and takes a wonderful mark. And the best mark we've seen so far today, which means he's right in the mix for the Game Face Vision mark of the day. Jack Ferrugia, 40 metres out for his 11th goal of the season. He kicks low and flat, and mark last line of defence by Big Ben Willsmore, who's come back to Yea this year from Hillsville. In short now. Down the line, the kick was no good. And an interception by Mitchell, who tries to get it towards half forward. Turnover, though, in the middle of the ground. Fordry, who turned it over initially, tried to get it again for Yea, and then a good tackle laid. And it'll be thrown up. On the wing. Doing well, Patrick Evans. Crashing and bashing. Wooldridge the tap. Free kick. Wooldridge was held on to. As Dan Evans picked up the loose ball at the clearance. The number 2, ruckman Wooldridge. Kicks long. Towards half forward, off hands. Chance for a snap at goal. Ferrugia was goal side. No one was there goal side for Yea as he waited at the back of the pack and snaps a terrific goal. And they kicked their 4th from getting it in deep and knowing that he's a very good player with his forward craft and kicks his 11th goal of the season. And his team again, more than a goal in front on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard. 4-5-29 to 3-4-22. Throw up again. Wooldridge. Pell. I think Renix was held when he didn't quite have control of the football. Take the free kick in the middle. Gave them a lot of drive in the first quarter. Been a bit quieter this quarter, the boy from East Brighton. When Nick Jewell coaches and they're going well in the Southern Football League, he kicks towards half forward, a bouncing ball. Will go close to the boundary and eventually run out of bounds. Deep into attack by Papadopoulos, the schoolboy. For Yea, couldn't keep it alive. His father, a member of those premiership teams, being celebrated today, 2003, 2005. Boundary thrown right beside the big gum tree. Half forward, out of sight. Into attack. The Yea Tigers, 7 points down. Overrunning at bar of Warburton Millgrove. Loose ball, close to the boundary. Trying to get a hand pass out was Mitchell. Quick squeezing kick goes along the boundary. And it will be out of bounds on the full. Sort of been hemmed in very close to the boundary so far. Big kick down the line by Preddy in the long sleeves. Been an excellent mark by Pell. Feeds the hand pass off to Renix. High ball to half forward. No one can take the mark in the middle of the pack. A lot of players there. Good hand pass, Forgery. Got it out, then a hurried shot towards goal, and he was out of room as he tried to swing that back. Young Papadopoulos received it very close to the boundary, working in a telephone booth. Good song that from Ian Moss, and it's a boundary thrown right beside the behind post. 29 to 22, 7-point lead. Our coverage for Hillsville Greyhounds. Back into play again. A lot of players mill over the football in the bottom of the pack. Marks has given away a free kick. He might have legged his opponent. The big body of Trend. Awkward looking kicking style goes across the face. Mark wasn't taken by Ferguson. Might spill out to Ferguson of the Borough. But a chance now as they get the kick inside 50. And a shot at goal misses to the right-hand side by Marks. After a quick kick came in from his teammate. Eldos, who's already kicked a goal, and he got run down as he squeezed it, and then Marks wasn't able to finish it off. 29 to 23. Probably had a bit more time than he thought. Only 25 metres out directly in front. Back into play, Dylan Walker. Walker will head to the broadcast side. Plays on. Nice kick. Oh, Preddy runs into his teammate. And then he's brought down on a tackle, Rothwell. Rothwell and Preddy, they mucked up each other, and he has run down. And there's going to be, no, free kick to Rothwell. Didn't have the footy long enough. Unlucky then, Madison Bell, that he gave away that free kick. He played in South Marine Premiership side in the Northern League last year. But horrible kick, turnover. Mark to Patrick Evans of Yea, one of the three Evans boys. Kick short to his brother, who didn't hang on to it cleanly, Cameron. And, well, he took his eyes off the ball, was I think thinking what he was going to do with it before he actually had control of it. But immediately tackled, thrown up on the wing. Wooldridge And Willsmore, one of three ruckmen in this Yay team today, taps it down. Coming from half forward, great hands, Yakimo. Got it out now to Seppel. Got the hands free again towards Mark. Gets it inside 50. Humphrey, who kicked the first two goals, goes in hard and holds it up inside 50. May have nearly shoved his opponent in the back. He dived in on him. And that was Nicholson, who was taken in the back, I thought. Thrown up, 30 metres out from goal. Big fist. Coming off the square. Trying to get the hand pass out. Swinging ball inside 50. Comes off. And on the lead, Reed. Did well. He received it from Ma, who took it defensive side of the clearance. Was almost like a gatekeeper. Protecting the wall inside 50. And he swung it around the body. Reed hard on the boundary here. An opportunity to kick an important goal to give it the Borough a 2-goal lead close to half-time. Michael Reed. And he'll go for the banana. And he'll miss. And through for a behind. 4-6-30. 3-5-23. Margin 7 points. Back into play. Short and successful. Sandals down the line. Nice kick. Marks to half forward. Fisted away though by the eager defence of Warburton Millgrove. At the drop, well rowed by Barr. Handballs now to Hun. Hun on the half volley. Gets it to Reed. Reed beats one, beats two. Or taken to the tackle, I should say, was Humphrey. And it's holding the ball. He tried to buckle at the knees and take it high. But he was always under the pump. Free kick going away. Of Bell, who's in short. Picks out Renix, who goes back as they look to open it up across the face. Hargraves to Nicholson at full back, and they've conceded about 40 metres as they had the ball at half back when they got the free kick. Yay, going very defensively. Dan Evans has got huge claret above the eye, so he'll get some treatment. He's as hard as a cat's head. Told to play on here, Nicholson, but he's bereft of ideas. He will go in short. And Renix, who kicked it back to him initially, has gone from one side of the ground to the other. And in short now. Long ball towards half forward. Eldovis did well. Off hands and out of bounds. Coming across doing some good defensive work. There was Hewitt in front of the grandstand for Warburton Millgrove. It'll be a boundary throw-in. 4-6-30, 3-5-23, close to half-time. Outer East Division 1 footy here at Yay. The Yay Tigers, 1 win for the season. Warburton Millgrove Borough, 4 from 5. Tap down again. Loose ball, Ma. Got a hand pass out the bar. And now his teammate Semple throws it on the boot while he had players tackling him. In good hands, Reed, under pressure. Got a hand pass out to his teammate who was taken in a tackle close to the boundary. Couldn't do much with it, and then the kick was smothered as they look to try and extricate themselves from tackles. And there's going to be a free kick, and it'll go the way, I think, of the Borough. Bit of pushing and shoving. Getting involved is Tom Barr, who's been outstanding today, candidate for BOG. For Petters, and he'll receive the free kick. Reed was involved in that exchange too. Kicks high inside 50. No mark taken. Spills to the back of the pack. Good roving by Nicholson. He runs into trouble. Gets a hand pass out to Hargraves. Hargraves fumbles. Picked up by Humphreys. He was pushed front on as he tried to hook around the body and might have copped one high. Just a lack of composure in the back half. 20 metres out from goal from Yay has resulted in a turnover and then a free kick given to Humphrey. He's looking to kick his third. Here's Humphrey from point-blank range. He kicks his third. Been wanting to say that all day. And he now has 10 for the season. And his team have a handy buffer close to half-time. 5-6-36 thanks to Hillsville Greyhounds. And the Yay Tigers are 3-5-23. As the veteran Graham, who retired last year, has come back to play. Comes back on. Rothwell comes off for Warburton Millgrove. And they just managed to get some control of this game. So 13-point lead. Thrown up in the middle. Trying to win it down Fordry. Renix grabs it, throws it on the boot, kicks to half forward. Number of players leading in the race. It's not really a quick foot race. Good use of the body by Trinde. He got the hand pass out now to Walker. Walker goes for the 45 kick. Couldn't find the target. In Kaniva, picked up on the left. Good kick towards centre half forward by Papadopoulos of Yea. It's 40 metres out from goal. And again, the defence pretty good. Laying a good tackle. Noonan, who's been solid in defence for Warburton Millgrove, locks it up 40 from the goal. They're defending at the netball court end of the ground. 13-point lead, 36 plays 23. Thrown up again. Knocked down. And no one could get a clean possession. Fordry was accosted as he came up with the footy after receiving the tap. Willsmoor doing the ruck work for Yea. Open-handed tap. And then immediately good tackle, Nicchio, who's been added to the team this year. As the spillage fell to Noonan, number 3 of Warburton Millgrove. Nelson beaten in the ruck contest. Pretty grabs it, kicks a high ball to half forward. Whacked away by Yea. At the drop, Nelson, a big man, gets a hand pass out. Kicking it into bodies, unfortunately, Warburton Millgrove. Here's a chance now for a shot at goal by Patrick Evans. Floating ball, misses to the left-hand side. He received the hand pass from his teammate who had ricocheted to in McSperrin. And it's another behind their first score for some time. They're 3-6-24. 2 goals behind Warburton Millgrove. 5-6-36 on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard for the Hillsville Greyhounds. Into play. Short goes Walker. In the back pocket. Baker, who's been quiet. Lee, back to Baker. Second possession in this exchange, right on half-time. Yes, Tom Baker been a lot quieter than I think he'd like, averaging 26 a game, but Barr has been the difference for mine. Been absolutely magnificent and right in contention for the BOG for Petters. Our goal of the day, I think it's still that great hacking goal by Sealy for the Yea team. And our BOG, Architectural Cladding Supplies, will be interesting. But I think Barr's got that. Mark of the day for Game Face Vision, Ferrugia, probably leading the race at the moment. But it is half-time, and it's 5-6-36 Warburton. They lead Yea 3-6-24. Humphreys kicked 3 goals for Warburton. Barrs also kicked a goal along with Ferrugia. And among the goals kicked by the opposition, Yea, a magnificent goal by Sealy, which was certainly very, very important in getting his team going. And at one stage they led early in that quarter, but then were overtaken in the back end of the quarter by some good footy by the Warburton Millgrove Borough. Also, Aldos has kicked an important goal as well, along with Nicho. Great goal on the run, a candidate for our goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies. So just getting it right, our player of the day is Petters. Goal of the day, Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team. And our mark of the day, Game Face Vision. Okay, let's have a look and see what's been happening in the other games. We'll go around the grounds in the Outer East Football Netball League. And we'll firstly start with the Premier Division. Alinda Ferny Creek leading Hillsville, 9-4-58 to 4-1-25. Second on the ladder, Alinda Ferny Creek going nicely. Mount Evelyn is 7-5-47. They're in front of Upway Tacoma, 5-5-35. Gembrook Cockatoo, 4-3-27. Woori Yallock inaccurate, 2-12-24, 14 scoring shots to 7. That'll be a huge... certainly upset if Gembrook Cockatoo were to hang on from there. Officer 3 behinds, Wandon 8.8.56, and Monbulk 9.2.56. Emerald really struggling. Last score we had there, 4 behinds. In this competition, which of course is Division 1, and for the Healesville Greyhounds, checking those scores. And we had scores earlier, but we don't have them now. So we'll endeavour to get them a little bit later on. We'll see if we can get them now. No, they're not up at the moment, but we'll come back from the break. Thanks to Healesville Greyhounds, and try and get those scores for the Outer East Division 1 competition. And, of course, you can get all the details on the local Footy Hub app, which, of course, is our scoreboard, and it shows a 2-goal lead to Warburton at halftime. Warburton Millgrove have won 4 of their first 5, 5-6-36, and Yay Tigers looking for their second win of the season, 3-6-24. Back with the second half shortly. Welcome back to Yay Recreation Reserve, and it's half-time in the Outer East First Division game for the Healesville Greyhounds. And we have half-time, 12-point lead to Warburton Millgrove Borough, 5-6-36, and they lead Yay 3-6-24. Humphreys kicked 3 goals for Warburton to give him 10 for the season. Ferrugia, one of the marks of the day for Game Face Vision, to give him 11 for the season. One of the goals of the day came from the boot of Sealy. Outstanding goal. And he's kicked a goal along with Nicho and also Eldos, who's come back from Queensland to Yay this year. And they've got some players back who all left the club, of course, when there were problems in 2022. And they, just to get a game of footy going, they joined forces with another struggling team in Broadford, who are looking to get into the Bendigo League, which will be a massive challenge for them. Bendigo League's not the league that it once was. Certainly when I first started broadcasting footy back in the 1990s, they're a very powerful league, one of the best in country Victoria. Not so much now. But Broadford hoping to get in there, but they'll need to obviously go and recruit. But then in 2023, they elected to go into recess, in the seniors and start again. And Mitch Scully's come on board, and they've gone out and got players from other clubs. Madison Bell from South Marine played in the Premiership side in the Northern Football League in second division last year. They've gone up this year, probably haven't recruited as well as they would have liked. Noah Cumberland's their main recruit, ex-Richmond player. But Heidelberg dominate that comp, but he's come across. They've also picked up Faulkner from Blackburn, which was the top in the top competition in the very strong Eastern Football League. And number 51, Marks, who's been quite handy, a bit of a will-o'-the-wisp half forward today. He is a player they've picked up from Churnside Park in one of the lower divisions in the Eastern Football competition. So they're among the recruits that they've got. Nichio's a new recruit for them as well. Quinny's come out of retirement. He's been living in the West, working in the mines. He's returned today. They're missing Corbin Sutherland, their gun goal kicker, who's played a lot of football over the years, a lot of cricket as well in Melbourne. 1,000 goals he's kicked. Leading goal kicker last year with 69. He's got a bit of a sore leg at the moment, but thank him very much for what he's done in helping us be set up in the old scoreboard on the other side of the ground to the social club rooms and also the grandstand as the quarter's underway, and out of the middle goes Baker. Baker gets a hand pass out, and then Horn will get the hand pass on the return from Ferguson, and what a start that is. From Hewitt, I should say, handball to him. It was wonderful footy, the sort of footy you'd see at training. Clean contest out of the middle of the ground. Clearance brilliance at its best from the Warburton Football Club. Tom Baker involved, and they finish it off with a very, very important goal. 6-6-42 to 3-6-24. Margin out to 18 points. Opening minute, third quarter on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Horn had been a bit quiet, and so had Baker in the first half, but Barr was the man, probably the favourite to be BOG. And he'll grab the footy now, and on the left, he'll get it towards the wing. No one can take the mark, and Petters is looking after that award today, and it's held up on the wing on the outer side, and it'll be thrown up. They need a goal quickly here, Yay. Game beginning to slip away a bit. Aldridge, Pell. Tap down. Here's Barr. He extricates himself from the contest. Gets shoved in the back. Kicks to half forward. Affects the kick, which was nearly marked. And it was Humphrey, the man that nearly took the mark. And then he's dumped to ground in a pretty fierce tackle inside attacking 50 at the netball court end of the ground. Thrown up. Nelson wins it down for the Borough. Eldolfs gets the kick smothered. Baker won it. He kicks into bodies as well for Warburton Millgrove. Lots around the contest, thrown up again. Yes, Tom Baker from the very strong Frankston YCW team in the MPFNL, and then spent time at Hastings with his good mate Josh Berringer, one of the best and fairest at Hastings last year. Loose ball, close to the boundary. A lot of players getting involved. And then a great tackle. Coming back, Eldolfs again, who's been terrific. Leading by example, Hun tried to get away. Has he got one high? Oh, I'm not sure about that. And in fact, his teammate, Keneva, is the one that gets the free kick in front of the timekeeper's box, which looks like it needs a decent paint job, even though it's got a lot of character, that old timekeeper's box on the other side of the ground. He's at left half forward. Young Keneva looking for their second goal in a couple of minutes, the Borough in this quarter. On the left, long high ball to the left-hand side, misses narrowly, and it's a behind. 6-7-43, 3-6-24. Local Footy Hub app that's the scoreboard for the Hillsville Greyhounds. Dan Evans, straight down the middle, half-distance pass to brother Patrick. Takes the mark, 35 metres out from the goal they're defending. The captain will go wide. Fordry marks in the back pocket now. Has a player in short if he can get to him. McSperrin, now he's too short. Kicks it longer towards the wing. Getting up, a good mark taken by Big Pell. The ruckman just behind the wing will run away from Wooldridge. Kicks it high towards half forward. From the side, Woolsmore makes a good contest for the Tigers. Player was taken high, and he'll come up with a free kick. And again, it's Keneva, who's been okay. Kick, though, gets intercepted in the middle of the ground by Sandals for Yay. They need a goal from this move forward. The Tigers, he sinks the slipper into it. Kicks in towards the pocket, and he might have found a target. He has, and will be a shot at goal. 35 metres out. On an angle. And this is Tyler Faulkner, right in front of the marquee. Housing, of course, the past players of 2003, 2005 for their reunion today. On an angle, but he slotted it home nicely. In contention for the Architectural Cladding Supplies goal of the day. And one goal apiece in this quarter helps them get it to within 13 points. It was 12 points at half-time. 6-7-43 Warburton Millgrove, 4-6-38 Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Don't forget the footy show with Steph and Aiden. On again this week, looking at what's happened in round 7 of the Premier Division and round 7 of First Division, which these two sides are playing in. So out of the middle. Quick kick from Patrick Evans. He wins the clearance, but taken defensively by Patrick Horn. Gets the hand pass off now to Baker. Baker draws the man. Feeds over the top by hand. Puts Lee under pressure. He slips. Handballs back to Ferguson. Ferguson stabs a kick towards Ferrugia. At half forward off Ferrugia off one step. An absolute horror. Lazy kick by Jack Ferrugia and puts it out of bounds on the full. Here's Jack Christie at half back to take the footy for Yay. Spearing ball into the middle of the ground. Hits the big fella Pell on the chest. Feeds a long hand pass out. Dancing hard now. Good play by Tyler to get the footy and head to the outer side of the ground. And he picks out a teammate who takes the mark. It's Cameron Evans. Feeds inside again. Hand pass not great for Papadopoulos. Back to Evans. Down the outer side of the ground. A bouncing ball. Just had too much carry on the kick for Sandals. It's out of bounds on the full. Lee has been solid right in front of the social club rooms, well populated. People outside watching the footy, 13-point lead to Yay. Lee on the left, the captain of Warburton Millgrove. Big pack collapses. Got a feeling Hewitt might have got into the back of an opponent then for the Borough. It's off hands to Bell, but he won't get the free kick. Big Pell will, who's been indefatigable. Just on the edge of the beautiful old grandstand. We'll launch it long. Down that outer side. Willsmore in the middle of the pack looking to take the mark. Close to the boundary. And it's seen over the line. And it will be a boundary throw-in. Tyler Faulkner playing well this quarter for Yay. Throw in again. And there'll be a secondary ball up between the big figure of Waldridge and Pell. They lock arms and horns for the respective sides. Good bird's eye in front of the canteen there. Another ball up. A lot of stoppages. Margin 13 points early stages, third quarter. On the town side of the ground as well. Throwing it once more. Tried to whack it down with a little flick was the big man Wooldridge. And then his second effort's very good. I think this is the fourth stoppage on that side of the ground in about 30 seconds. Battling hard, Yate, but they're still a couple of goals behind. Nice slap, Pell, to the boundary line. Baker leading in pursuit. Right with him, Experin of Yate. Can't get there, boundary throw-in. Second year, Tom Baker at Warburton. Boundary throw-in again. Knocked down again, Pell. Loose ball on the wing. Hooking kick around the body from Sandals, close to the boundary. Baker there once more with McSperrin, who's sort of, I think, got the run with roll with him today. And again in front of all the ex-players, having a lovely time with the fire going as well. That's what country footy's all about. Boundary throwing it half forward. Wait till it gets colder. Taken out of the ruck by Pell. Kicks the half forward to a central location. Faulkner was in the chop up. Couldn't take the mark. Ball at the feet. And it'll be thrown up. Cameron Evans there as well. Couldn't get hold of it. And Inicio, the small forward, has kicked a beautiful goal already for Architectural Cladding Supplies. Knocked down again. Trying to get it out was Fordry. Goes without it. Hacked out of mid-air by Wooldridge. But back to the opposite ruck when Pell is having a big influence for BOG for Petters. Been terrific this quarter. Lobs the ball towards centre half forward. Looking for someone to mark. No one came. Pack collapses to the back of the pack. Papadopoulos had it knocked away again by Ferguson. Barr comes in late. Inicio, though, chips in. Hooks a little left foot kick to Graham. Graham hard on the boundary towards the teeth of goal. Getting back, no mark taken. Ball's at the drop, looking to try and keep it alive, yay. They can't. Good defence by Walker getting back. Needed a bit more support, but managed to just sort of get it in the right location, goal side and then boundary side. Back into play, 20 metres around, 13-point lead for Warburton. Flicks to the back of the pack. Player taken high in a tackle. The big figure of Anduza, the fullback. He'll dish off by hand. He'll get the hand pass off to Lee. Lee will chip across the half-back line. Not a great kick. Set his teammate Walker a real task, but Lee's there to get the hand pass, so he makes it look good. Good kick to Hun. Hun kicks to half forward, carries the journey to Barr. Barr on the left, lowers the eyes, kicks inside 50, misses the target, but it doesn't matter because Humphreys was there as it skidded to him. Luck's of fortune, and he kicks his fourth. 11 goals for the season for Bailey Humphrey, and they seem to have the answers, Warburton. Not a great kick by Barr inside 50, but a clean goal to two Yay defenders in front. And Humphrey was there to tidy it up, clean it up, and kick an important goal. 7-7-49 to 4-6-30. Local footy. The local footy hub app scoreboard. He's been one of the stars today. Puts him in contention for the Petters BOGs. Kick 4. They just seem to have the answers. 19-point buffer now, their biggest lead of the day. Throwing up. Powell having a rest now. Willsmore doing the ruck work for the Tigers. Flicked out by Yakimo, the playing coach. Quick kick around the body by Ferguson. Towards half forward. Kick inside 50. No one can take it. Hard on the boundary. And he ran out of room, Humphrey, but he did well as he was able to swipe a tackle, then swat another opponent in a would-be tackle. And as he got hold of the footy, he hung around the corner with the kick and just misses to give his team a 20-point lead. Kick back into play, not great. Quinny makes it better than it was. Nearly turns it over, though. It's set a half forward and players scrap and fight hard, particularly the Warburton and Millgrove players, to ensure it goes nowhere. It'll be thrown up. Waldridge. Willsmore leans in, wins it down. Scrubby kick. Lee's played a good game. Towards full forward. Little feeding hand pass over the top from Hewitt. And then in the goal square, they'll finish it off with another one. Tom Baker got that goal. 20 metres out. They just kept it alive inside 50, and they're just starting to get on top here. Humphrey making a good contest as well. He's kicked 4. Tom Baker on the board now as Ferguson comes back on the ground, and it's 8-8, 56 to 4, 6-30. The lead continues to grow. Waldridge and Willsmore doing the ruck work. He's come back from Hillsville this year, along with Fordry. Trying to pick players up from other clubs. Yay and build again. Knocked down in the middle of the ground. Forced out towards the outer side of the ground. Good hand pass again by Tyler. And taking it and kicking long towards full forward. It's a magnificent effort. I think it's a goal. Oh, it's just skimmed the post. It's launched long by Eldos has been terrific. Big body midfielder with a big boot on him. That would have been a candidate for goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies. And he just misses. 4-7-31. Kick back into play by Walker. Set Faruja a task. Picked up now, high ball by Dan Evans, who's got that head bandaged. He throws it on the boot for Yay and kicks it across the face and out of bounds in the outer forward pocket. That would have been a magnificent goal and probably the favourite for our goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team. He just roosted it long from right half forward, front of the marquee. Tapped down Pal, who's doing some forward work now, changing with Willsmore, who's on the ball, as I mentioned earlier. Throw up, 30 from goal, and Waldridge doing the ruck work on his own with Aldridge waiting for the birth of his first child. The two ridges. Fisted down again, close to the boundary. And again, hard on the boundary. Shot at goal. Good attempt by Fordry across the face. Didn't have a lot of room to work then in tight confines in that forward pocket on the out of sight, and it goes right across the face. He was looking to hook it back, and he didn't get enough hook on it. In fact, got virtually no hook on it. Boundary throw-in in the opposite forward pocket, 20 metres around from goal. 25 points in arrears at the moment, they need a goal. Tap down again. A lot of players around the contest. Cleared out of defence momentarily by Big Wooldridge. Scrubbers a kick to the half-back line. Faruja goes in. Tries to knock it away. Couldn't. Opportunity. Good tackle. Well played by Christie. Did well to hold his opponent up, and at half forward brought him to ground, and a fierce tackle for Yea to keep it in their attacking vicinity, just outside the attacking 50 at the river end. They need a goal in his third term for Hillsville Greyhounds. Squeezing ball by Cam Evans. Slips towards the forward pocket, and then the tackle slipped over the shoulder of Walker. He'll take the free kick against Nicchio, again in front of the ex-premiership players here for the reunion today. Tries to get to his teammate, Pretty, had it knocked away late. Good work by Hargraves for Yea, who foots it down close to the boundary. Comes out again. It was a loose ball, and then a player put his body on the line and cop one, and that's Barr, who's been magnificent for our BOG award for Petters. Handball's close to the boundary. Chose a wrong option. Running out of room was Baker. Had nowhere to go, and then Barr didn't like the treatment Baker received. Bit of pushing and shoving from Madison Bell. And that bumping continues. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Just some hot air being extracted from the players here in this third term. Front of the Yea change rooms. Tap down again. Barr puts the body over the line, scrimping and scraping, trying to win possession. Then Ferguson, his look-alike, lays a good tackle to hold it up for the Warburton Millgrove team on the wing. So neutral territory. 8-8, 56 to 4-7, 31. Local footy hub app scoreboard. You can get all your Outer East footy details. Tap down again. Quick kick. Came out from Marks. High ball towards half forward. Knocked down again by the eager Warburton Millgrove defence right on the wing. And then run out of bounds by Semple. But there will be a free kick. Little hand pass Bell. Long ball Christie. Kicks the half forward. It's a great kick. But it's intercepted magnificently by Preddy. Preddy does well to bring it out to the wing. Faruja a bit lazy, tried to soccer it, couldn't. Then he lays a tackle on Quinney. Ball flicks out the back now. Taken nicely on the left. Going down the line, Palmer. High ball to half forward, but then a nice intercept marked again for Warburton Millgrove at half back. Enduza in short. Not a great kick, but it finds a target. And another big man, the barrel-chested Nelson, in short now to Mitchell on the bounce. Mitchell runs into trouble, feeds a hand pass out. Lee tucks it under his arm as he breaks tackles. On the left for Warburton Millgrove, bouncing ball inside 50. Ball to be won, trying to win at the Tigers, under immense pressure. Coming the other way though, good effort to get the hand pass out. Again the Borough. Humphreys there again, goes in hard, can't get hold of it. Nor can Reed, who tried to get it originally. And then a tackle is laid at half forward near the timekeeper's box on the outer side. 25-point lead, second half of the third term. Open-handed slap, tap down. Yakimo does well to win in it for the tap from Willsmore. Barr gets the hand pass out. Yakimo on the end of it, and Lee. Lee kicks long and high to the goal square. Might be a free kick, because I'm sure the mark wasn't taken as a chopping of the arms in the goal square. I think it might be. To Faruja, point blank range, 10 metres out for his second and 12th of the season. He kicks the goal. And the lead out now to 31 points. They've doubled the score. They've got going in this term. Kicking 4 goals to 1. 9-8, 62, 4-7, 31. Local footy hub app scoreboard for the Hillsville Greyhounds. Not many people in that grandstand. It's interesting. They're all on one side, the right-hand side, extreme right-hand side. Bar a couple of people down the front row. as you can see from the great job that Jake is doing with the camera today on the stream. For the Hillsville Greyhounds, 31-point lead. We'll be getting away in this third term. In front of a nice crowd. As I say, the Premiership reunions of 2003-2005. Pell taps it down. Ball comes out. Faulkner got it to Evans. Evans drives along inside 50 and Deucer in the right position again. Brings it to ground up against Big Willsmore, who ends up with it. Willsmore on the left. Gets the kick partially smothered. Ricochets across the goal face. They've got numbers in the last line of defence, and they can run it out of defence through Preddy. Preddy kicks Warburton Millgrove towards the half-back line. They're away again through Nelson. Spinning in and out of tackles, receiving the hand pass. Hun gets it out now to Lee. He's having a great game. Lee kicks now to the running man, who takes the mark running with the flow in Ferguson. Delivers in short and finds the target at half forward. It's Humphrey, who's kicked 4 goals today and had a huge influence, looking for his 5th and 12th of the season. 4 goals, 1 he's kicked. Humphrey looking to take on an opponent. He's held up by Nicholson and then taken high. And he really needed to go back and probably try and lob that to the goal square if it's too far for him to kick. He will kick off 1 step towards full forward. Mark was dropped by Hewitt. Should have hung on to that. And then the Yea defenders going hard to try and ensure that they don't concede. Good effort by Eldos to get it to the outer side of the ground for the Tigers. But then attempting to extricate himself out of tackles close to the boundary was Caneva, who's had a good third quarter. It's a boundary throw in at half forward. Slogging affair this, 62-31, close to three-quarter time. Handball comes out. Paddling to his own advantage was Nicchio, but lost control of it. Picked up now by Lee. Lee hooks around the body. He and Barr have been impassable across half-back. Loose ball again. Can't get hold of it. Warburton Millgrove picked up by Baker now. Hard on the boundary. Hooking ball's a good one. And Lee runs into space and takes the mark. Gee, you have to be thinking about him for BOG too, for Petters. Takes that mark. He's had a lot of the footy at left half forward. Minimal angle. And he just has given them great rebound. He's also been very good defensively and led from the front. The skipper goes in short. Kick's not great. Didn't quite have the carry. But Baker did well to rein it into his own advantage. Back to Lee. Shakes 1 tackle. Looks to shake a second. Feeds the hand pass out now. Puts Marr under pressure. Marr did well to extricate himself out of a tackle. Throw it on the boot and find the big man lunging forward and also wandering forward. Woodridge at right half forward to have a shot at goal. The man with the rude haircut. And a chance to give his team a 37-point lead. It's been tough going for the Yea Tigers in this third term. But Warburton Millgrove just a little bit too much class. The runners-up of last year going down to Hillsville in the grand final. He'll kick. Wobbly looking kick. Has it got the carry? It doesn't, but there's someone taking the mark. Hewitt saw it dropping short to go through for a behind, and he's got high and taken an excellent mark, a candidate for mark of the day. For game face vision, he'll try and run around and snap a goal like Ollie Dempsey did the other night for Geelong. On the left, kicks it low and flat, and he has got enough on it to put it through for another one. 10-8-68, 4-7-31, local footy hub app scoreboard for Hillsville Greyhounds. Now, the big fella Woodridge will say, post-match, I meant that. Not sure he did. Low and flat, but importantly, he kicked it towards a contest and Hewitt was in front. So Lachlan Hewitt is added to the goal kickers. They've kicked 5 this quarter. Humphreys kicked 4 of them. The rest singles, and a pretty good even performance by Warburton Millgrove again. Going to be hard for me to pick the BOG for Petters. Tap down again. Out of the middle goes Evans. High kick towards half forward. Plenty of distance on the kick for Yea, but they're breaking down there all day. Taking a tackle close to the boundary. Wasn't able to keep it alive down there. Sandals slung for a while. And the umpire says, I'll throw it back into play as it ricocheted off his hands while he was taken in that tackle. Boundary throw-in. Waldridge, loose ball, waiting at the back. Eldos again has been good. Hooks a kick towards the pocket. They get a good bird's eye of this, the ex-players. Slips out to Hun, feeds the hand pass out, and they've got runners at half back. And a good mark taken by Caneva. Back to Horn, who kept running. Horn, beautiful kick. Hits his teammate on the chest. Baker, the star players getting involved there for Warburton Millgrove as they drive and run out of defence. Baker in short, nice kick, and finds the target again. Horn, who's kept running and had a pretty good third term, averaging 31 possessions a game before today. Horn in short, lobbing little ball. Where's that to? Doesn't find the target, but Humphrey gets one high. He was trying to get it in the direction of Humphrey. It didn't deserve to be a free kick with the kick. It was a shocker. An absolute shocker. And because he was a metre or so in front of Nicholson, who's gone over his shoulder allegedly, he's given away a free kick. So Humphrey a chance for his 5th and 12th of the season. And his name will be up in lights for our player of the day for Petters. Looking for a goal of the day too for Architectural Cladding Supplies. Probably Big Sealy at the moment. It's a good-looking kick. It holds its line, then drifts away at the last minute. He has 4 goals too, Humphrey, out of his teams starting to look quite imposing. 10-9, 69 to 4-7, 31. And Yay finding it hard to score. Margin 38 points almost at three-quarter time. The local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Dan Evans with the head bandage back into play. Former president to the outer side of the ground. Hargraves close to the boundary, misses the target again. And that's been a bit of an issue for them in their back half, turning it over, not quite getting targets at that half-back line. And Warburton Millgrove have been pretty good in exploiting the wall and having players there to tidy up. And they're good players getting involved. Barr's been there all day, and Baker and Hun in this third quarter have had it on a string. Close to the boundary line is Giacomo, the playing coach. Feeds a hand pass out to Hun, who tries to take on tackles. Runs out of room as he feeds a long hand pass to the running Ma, who ran out of room. Boundary throw it at half forward. Back into play. Fell to the front of the pack. Giacomo overruns it. Fordry taking it at tackle, dispossessed by Ma. As I mentioned, he and Lee have been superb across half-back for Petters. And a boundary throw-in again at half-forward, just near that timekeeper's box. Tap down again. Can't control it, Giacomo. Trying to keep it alive was Ferrugia. Hooking kick around the body, Baker. Didn't get a lot of distance on the kick. Towards half forward, number of players involved. Going to be a free kick, I think, going Yates' way. And it'll go to Quiney, who's been working in the Western Australian mines. Thanks to Corbin Sutherland for providing a lot of information to me today. They'd love to have him out there. Three-quarter time. He's injured at the moment. 10-9, 69 to 4-7, 31. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard. And a big quarter by the Warburton Millgrove Borough. They kick 5 goals to 1 in their goal kickers. Humphreys kick 4. Singles to Baker, to Barr, 2 to Ferrugia, and singles to Hewitt and also Hun. And the goal kickers for Yay, Eldos, Nicchio, and also kicking a goal early days was Sealy. But they've got a lot of work to do to get themselves back in the game. They trail by 38 points. Let's go round the grounds and see what's happening in the other games in Outer East, in Premier Division, and also in First Division. I'll go out into the huddle and get a couple of photos of the coaches for our social media for the Outer East League. So let's see what's going on. So firstly in the Premier Division, Alinda Ferny Creek well on top of Hillsville, leading by 59 points. Mount Evelyn have a 3-goal lead over Upwey Tacoma, 72 to 54. Gembrook Cockatoo 48. Woori Yallock have hit the front, 52, 6-16. 22 scoring shots to 13. And Wandon thrashing Officer, 85 to 9, first against bottom. While Monbulk doing the same to Emerald, 10-7, 67. And Mark Pettis' team Emerald, 2-4, 16. Let's have a look at the First Division. Thanks to Hillsville Greyhounds. Now, Alexandra, 9-4-58. Yarra Junction, 4-8-32. Seville, 10-15-75. I've got Powelltown's measure, 4-6-30. And Yarra Glen, 4-7-31, trailing the top team, Pakenham. Got right on top there, 8-12-60. We'll take a break. We'll have all the details of these matches, of course, in the footy show with Aidan and Steph during the week. And we'll come back with the last quarter for Hillsville Greyhounds on the local Footy Hub app scoreboard. Big lead for Warburton and Millgrove. They'll move to 5-1, you'd think. 10-9-69. Yay, some work to do. 4-7-31. Back shortly. Oh. So the last quarter underway. And a kick inside 50 by Warburton Millgrove. And there'll be a ball up. Quick kick towards the middle of the ground. The big fella Woodridge does well to get up. Gets the hand pass off. Lee, he tried a clever little kick which was run down. Good play coming the other way by Evans. But he's turned it over and a strong mark at centre half back. Completed by the big fella Trende. He goes wide to Pretty. Pretty and short to Reed. They work the ball around the outer wing. And Hun. Can't quite find the target of Hewitt who kicked the late goal before three-quarter time. 10-9-69, 4-7-31, margin 38 points. Boundary throwing. Both teams working hard, and there'll be another ball up. Tackling pretty hard. James Yakimo went out to get a picture at three-quarter time. We're on the social media update. If Clint Carter can understand what I've said in the text I've sent to him. Our esteemed boss, our great leader. And he just said the backs have been outstanding today. And there's a free kick for holding the ball. I'm not sure it was there. Certainly the A bench not happy about it. Caneva. Anduza, Pretty, Ferguson. Well done, Anduza, to grab a forwarding hand pass as they were mucking around with the footy lead down to half forward. Couldn't hang on to the mark. Cleared up at the back by Evans. Yay. Did well, and there's a free kick. Which way is it going? It'll go the way of Yay. Nicchio's already kicked one. A long bomb into an open goal. A candidate for architectural cladding goal of the day, but on that occasion he was off target, out of bounds. It was an open forward line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. So it'll be tossed back into play. Both teams working hard. Chance for a shot at goal here. And they weren't able to quite get it home. And it goes through for a behind. Came from the boot of Patrick Evans from the stoppage. Back into play. Walker driving long. Nelson the target. Caneva with him as well, but at the back down. Evans takes a great mark. Candidate for mark of the day. An absolute ripper. For game face vision, that sort of just fell in his lap, the accidental marker. As he got it to Patrick Evans, who didn't quite find a target very wide, trying to be a little bit too neat. Boundary throw-in. Tap down again, both teams working hard. Hooking ball by Fell. And a player was taken in a tackle. The umpire said didn't go the required distance against Lee. He held it for a long, long time. He wasn't sure it was prior opportunity. But in the end, they've given the free kick to Nicho. He's already kicked one. Chance to kick his second. And just give them a slight chance. 37 points, 32-69. It was a 5-goal to 1/3 quarter. Nicho misses on the right-hand side, through for a behind. And he'd be disappointed with that after kicking a great running goal for Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team. Margin to 36 points. Nelson. Back into play. Plays on. Launches long. Plenty of distance on the kick. Just shy of the wing. On the outer side. Rebounding back, Yay. Loose ball. Couple of players overrun. Not able to get there. One was Cameron Evans of the Tigers. One of the three Evans boys. Through the middle of the ground. They managed to get the footy out. A few players get involved. He's had a quiet day, Rothwell. He wasn't able to get it for Warburton and Millgrove. He goes after it again. He slaps it forward. They've got it at full forward. I reckon that's holding the ball against Humphreys. He was trying to extricate himself out of a tackle, but he dropped it as he was clung on to, and Nicholson spears it wide. It's kicked down the line towards the wing by Christie. No one can take the mark. They're getting a bit of footy inside 50, overrunning at Baker. Picked up at the back. They've got these barrel-chested, solidly built defenders. One of them is Nelson. Gets it quickly to Hun. Kicks inside 50. Great mark. That should have been paid, I reckon, to Nicholson. Mark of the day for game face vision. Brought it to ground as he was out manoeuvring Humphrey on that occasion. He's had a tough day against him today, as there's a flying shot goalward, but I think the ball might have been out of bounds before it could be kept alive. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. Certainly Humphrey thought he might have had a flying shot too. So right in front of the ex-players. As part of the reunion, there's Barr taking it a tackle. Handballs to Horn. Horn lunging to Humphrey. Dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Evans does well to tidy out of defence. The young man Papadopoulos does well. We're going on the right. Ends up on the left. Gets around an opponent. Kicks in the middle of the ground. Couldn't quite find a target. Caneva taking it a tackle. Turned over again. Good play to get them out of trouble once more. By Fordry. And it kicks straight down the middle of the ground. And a big strong mark taken by Willsmore. Gets the hand pass off. His teammate was taking it a tackle. It wasn't great play. It's picked up again. Hurry boot by Evans. Gets it forward. And then eventually Nicchio gets out the back. And he ran forward to take the mark. He's giving them some good run in this last quarter. They're taking the game on. They might be making mistakes. But I'm sure that's what the coach, Mitch Scully, wants them to do in this last quarter. Take the game on. So Zane Nicchio's already kicked a goal, missed one from a set shot. Great goal on the run. Christie is there on the outside, riding roughshod. He wants the handball to him. He's ignored him. He kicks through the foot. He has got the carry. It's right on the line. Or has it been marked? Or is the umpire going to ball it up? A lot of players around that. Down at the netball end. Throw up again. Wooldridge the tap. They'll try and shuffle it through for a behind the Borough defenders. And they do. Big Wooldridge was one of those. Lee will inbound. He's had a great day for Petters. Contender for best man on the ground. He's in short. Into the back pocket. Caneva. Kicks towards the wing. Kick to half forward, didn't quite come off. Good defence by Hargrave, who intercepted nicely. And he's been okay too, Hargrave, for Yay, one of their defenders. And it heads towards half forward. It was out of bounds on the full. Kick inside to Baker, who gets the old 1-2. Feeds over the top. Puts his teammate under pressure. Might be a turnover here. Lee trying to get there, doesn't. A lot of players around the footy. And it'll be held up once more in the centre of the ground. 4-10-34, 10-9-69. 35-point lead. Local footy Hub app scoreboard. Tap down once more. Fordry overruns it. Forward hand pass. Barr from Ferguson on the left. Turnover. Great mark. Dan Evans been solid for Yay. Kicks to the broadcast side of the ground. Young Papadopoulos, the schoolboy, takes the mark just behind the wing for the Tigers. He's a little bit unsure. He'll lob a high ball, put his teammate under pressure. Couldn't take the mark, but Hargrave recovers. Does well. Goes back by hand. That comes off okay to Cam Evans. Cam Evans to Nicchio, having a good last quarter. Kicks quickly. Great mark at half forward. Candidate for mark of the day by Big Graham out of retirement over the last few weeks for Game Face Vision. Graham at right half forward. Kicks low. In towards the pocket. And the big fella takes the mark inside the boundary, Wellsmore. Wellsmore on the left will go to square it up. Turns it over, though, poorly. And an interception to Walker. Walker a half-distance pass. That's not a great effort. Set a task for his playing coach, Giacomo. Equal to the occasion. Good handball on the up to Hun. Handball towards Caneva. He misses, going one handball too many. Turnover to Big Pal of the Tigers. Got it to Cam Evans. And he finds a target again in Graham at right half forward. Turnover City here. Graham will go into the pocket and he'll pick out a teammate who lunges forward in marks. .45-degree angle, 40 metres out from goal. .4-10-34, been goalless since early stages, third quarter. 10-9-69, Warburton by 35 points. Scrappy game here. But they've battled hard, Yay at home, to make the margin 29 points. Great to be here. Thanks to the club for looking after us today. Heading to the right-hand side. And it's through for a behind. It's 4-11-35 to 10-9-69. Takes the margin to 34 points. Certainly going for broke with running off half back. I think they've left their run a bit too late. But they're trying to take the game on in this last quarter, the Tigers, which is what it's all about. Ferguson makes the lead. And he's sort of on his own here on this broadcast side in front of the Warburton dugout. Walker goes down the middle, and he was met late as he was about to take the mark. And the free kick will go back to Noonan, who's been solid today in defence for the Borough. Famous name in footy, Alan Noonan, Essendon and Richmond. Predominantly Essendon. In short, to Lee, who's been superb, has to play on, was off his line, backtracks, feeds over the top by hand to Noonan, in short to Baker, who's got better the longer the game's gone. Baker lowers the eyes, delivers in short, and he finds Semple attacking side of the wing. Hudson Semple off the side of the boot towards half forward. Couple of grabs. Did Hewitt hang on to that? I wonder if he did. Free kick. By Hargraves. They kick it down the line. And an easy mark taken by Lee, the interceptor. Been wonderful. In short to Big Wooldridge. Takes the mark. Gets the hand pass off to Baker. Baker delivers short to half forward. No mark taken, but the tackling by Yeh, very good. The crowd up and about. They've had a few sherbets. But there's going to be a free kick to Warburton. Reed, in short, gets the kick partially smothered. Coming the other way. Yeh. Kick towards half forward. Lee's all over his opponent. Gives away a free kick. Nicchio's had a good quarter. He's got a player, Evans, coming out to take the mark. Had too much on it. But well done by Papadopoulos, who weighted down because, unfortunately, the Warburton player couldn't complete the mark, and Papadopoulos was lurking with intent out the back, and he's managed to pick the footy up and hit a target, and that target is Hayden Marks, virtually directly in front, slightly right of centre half forward. This for their first goal since early in the third quarter. They've been the better team so far in the last. Marks will kick through the footy. That's a nice goal by the young man. 5-11-41, 10-9-69. They've not stopped trying all day, the Tigers. But Warburton and Millgrove, one of the premiership favourites after making their first grand final in 18 years last year, winning their first finals as well for 18 years. Have just had a little bit too much class. Their defence in particular have been absolutely magnificent. But an important goal, 5-11-41. First goal today for Marks. As they cut the margin to 28 points. Local Footy Hub app scoreboard for the Healesville Greyhounds. Thrown up again. Big fist Wooldridge to half forward at the bootlaces of Barr, who isn't able to vacuum it up. And he's claimed in a tackle immediately by Cam Evans, who's had a pretty good day for the Tigers. Throw up again. Wooldridge, Powell. Loose ball towards half forward from Evans. Both teams work hard. Comes back the other way. Good defence by Warburton Millgrove. Got the footy at half back. And this is Marr. He and Lee have just owned the half back line today. High ball. Turnover. And a 50-metre penalty to Dan Evans. Dan Evans will hit up a teammate. He'll take the mark at half forward. That's Eldos. Good kick again. Into the pocket. And there's a shot at goal here to Graham. Yes, they just got on with it quickly. Used the footy well. Plenty of distance on the kicks around that outer side in front of the social club rooms and the grandstand. Towards the goal square. Is there a mark on the second grab? There might be. For game phase vision, yes, the mark's completed by Sandals. He's hard on the boundary. We're looking to open up the angle. Benny Sandals. The Ollie Dempsey shot from Friday night, which cooked the Dogs. Oh, he's right across the face. He didn't give it any hook at all. And it goes out of bounds on the full from one forward pocket, the broadcast forward pocket, to the outer forward pocket. And he was close in too, but the angle was fairly acute. 69-41, local footy hub app scoreboard for the Hillsville Greyhounds, our major sponsor. Baker. Long ball. Strong mark Fowler. Reckon's been his team's best. Not out of contention for BOG for Petters. High ball to half forward. Off hands. Loose ball close to the boundary. And it's run out of bounds. Not able to keep it in was Noonan. He tried. Free kick though. And he'll try the Sam Draper around the body. Marks. It's gone a bit narrow behind. So they're getting some opportunities here, but I think time will run out. They haven't looked like scoring. They've gone into preservation mode, Warburton. 10-9, 69-5, 12-42 for the Hillsville Greyhounds. Local footy hub app scoreboard. 27-point lead. Terry Wheeler had a great record as coach of the Bulldogs. After his 157-game career ended, Coach Williamstown, starting here at Warburton. High ball back into play towards the wing. Big pack collapses. Number of players go, the diffuse and the punch. Pack forming at their feet at half forward for Yea on the outer side as they head towards the netball end of the ground. Constant forward, 50 entries in this final term. Boundary throw in again. Trying to keep it alive. No one can. And it'll go close to the boundary. Rothwell involved there, but couldn't get a decent possession out for the Warburton Millgrove Borough. Gary Wheeler, Terry's brother, also came from Warburton. Gordon Sumner, 26 games for Collingwood too. Boundary throw-in again. Loose ball, Baker crashes in hard. Coming the other way. Comes out now to Fordry. Hard on the boundary. His kick didn't have the carry. Mark last line of defence. Preddy, like a goalkeeper, will head it out to the broadcast side. Baker again has it. Has a target. Nelson will handball inside. Horn spins out of a tackle cleverly. Feeds the hand pass out now to Yakimo. Yakimo, the playing coach. High bouncing ball towards half forward. It slips comfortably at the back. Picked up well by Eldos. Eldos got the hand pass out to Papadopoulos. Has been quite good. Gets it towards the wing. Pack forming. No one can get there. Emerging with it, Dan Evans has been magnificent. Kicks across the face and kicks cleverly into the centre of the ground. Getting on with it quickly was Bell. Finds Cameron Evans. Wobbles a kick inside. 50. McSperrin a hand pass. Misses the target. That's let them down today. And at the back, Baker. Baker's kick misses the target as well in the middle of the ground. And players hold it up. Horns held on to. Going nowhere in a hurry. And giving him some attention is Eldos, the big-bodied midfielder for the Yay team. A favourite, as I said a couple of times. Came back from Queensland this year. Willsmere, the second ruckman for the Tigers, is there. Goes in, can't get it. Bell overruns it for Yay as well. Nitchov liked his game, particularly in the last quarter. Full of vim and vitality. Cleaned up at the back though. Running across half back. player put down as he got boot to ball. It'll be a free kick down the ground. Rothwell will take it. Drive it long inside 50, Ben Rothwell looking for someone to mark. The player trying to mark and he couldn't hang on to it. It was Humphrey. Then it comes out towards Horn. Horn off one step. He was falling to ground. He's just missed to the left-hand side. Good attempt. Back into play. Straight down the middle. Nearly a good mark. Couldn't quite take it. Evans. Socket on again towards Papadopoulos, who's been good. Playing wide at half-back and the wing. Kicks down the line. It's a lovely kick by the teenager. And Quiney takes the mark in front of our commentary position, opposed to Walker. Quiney plays on quickly. High ball for Yea. They still trail by nearly 5 goals. Going the leap. No one can take the mark, and there's the siren. So a big win comes up. 28 points for Warburton Millgrove. 10-10-70 over Yea. 5-12-42. Really good game of footy. But Warburton Millgrove just a bit too solid. Led for most of the day. Although Yea did hit the front a couple of occasions, but I dare say only briefly. And they're now 1-5, having played 6 times so far this year. Yea after 7 rounds. And Warburton Millgrove, who got the double chance last year and the year before and bowed out in straight sets and then ended their 18-year finals drought with 2 good wins. Lost the first final to Hillsville, won the next 2 and played Hillsville in the grand final and were kept to 11 points, but great to see them there. But a little bit too solid today, 10-10-70 to 5-12-42. Bailey Humphries kicked 4 goals. He was the star up forward for the Warburton Millgrove team. He kicked 7 in the first 2 rounds of the season that they played and then hadn't kicked any in the past 3 and kicked 4 today to give him 11 for the season. So he was a star for the Warburton Millgrove team. Probably not best on ground. Tom Barr, I think, was best on ground in the first half. But I reckon Jack Lee for 4 quarters. Absolutely outstanding, impassable, the captain across half-back. So I'll give him best on ground for Petters. Our mark of the day, there are a couple of good marks taken today. Ferrugia, I reckon, though, probably the best of them. Took an outstanding mark, and he wins our mark of the day, and that is for game face vision for our mark of the day. And our goal of the day, well, I think it was clearly the goal of the day. Big Sealy just stuck his boot out, the big man, showing a lot of dexterity for a massive unit in the goal square, one of 3 ruckmen who could play in the ruck as well as big forward roles for Yea. So Sealy wins our goal of the day for Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team. Before we go, we'll go around the grounds and find out what's been going on in the other games, of course. It's a complete round 7 in both the Premier Division and also the First Division of the Outer East. And again, we thank Peter Armstrong and his team at Yea for having us here today. It's been magnificent and really enjoyed the contest between these 2 sides in the First Division, basically the Second Division, though, of the competition. So, Premier Division. Linda Ferny Creek have had a big win over Hillsville, 29-129, 9-6-60. Aidan and Steph will discuss that on the footy show during the week. We've had a draw, a great comeback by Upwey Tacoma against Mount Evelyn, who led for most of the day. And Upwey Tacoma have stormed home 12-7-79 apiece against Mount Evelyn. When you're in front for most of the day, you probably think it's a loss in the end when you've come from a fair way back, which Upwey Tacoma have done. The home of Rory Sloan, of course, the former Adelaide Crows captain and best and fairest winner, now doing great things in the media. You'd think that's a win. So they've got a draw, 2 points in that game. Upwey Tacoma with a big last quarter at home. Gembrook Cockatoo finished nicely against Woori Yallock, but not enough. 10-8-68, 9 less scoring shots, and Woori Yallock inaccurate 10-17-77. And Officer 3-6-24, thrashed by the top team, Wandon 15-17-107. And Monbulk had a good win over a disappointing Emerald to stay in the top 5. Their 4th win of the season for Monbulk. The Hawks 15-10-100, Emerald 2-5-17. In the First Division, which will be looked at on the footy show during the week as well for Hillsville Greyhounds, our major sponsor. We've seen Warburton Millgrove, the match we've broadcast today, 10-10-70 to 5-12-42 over Yea. Yarra Junction, 8-8-56, still without a win. Alexandra, too strong for them, 14-8-92. Seville, 11-16-82, were able to eclipse Powtown comfortably, 6-7-43. And Yarra Glen, 6-8-44, going down to Pakenham, the top team. Pakenham, 12-14-86. We thank all our sponsors, of course, Hillsville Greyhounds, also the local Footy Hub app, and you can get all your details of the Outer East, the stats through Premier Data, whether it be this year, last year or 2023, and what's happening, of course, the rankings points, which will be discussed on the Footy Show as well. Also our other sponsors, Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the crew, Petters, thanks to Mark Petter and his team, and also Game Face Vision. If you want your game looked after, Game Face Vision is able to do that, whether it be obviously through our large array of cameras and also through a stream every week like we've done today out here at Yea. Thanks to Jake for all his hard work. Thanks to everyone here at Yea for providing us with a great facility. We're on the old scoreboard on the other side of the ground of the social club rooms and that lovely old green grandstand. It's been great being here today. To Glenn Carter, to Josh Rickard, also to Cam and the Bear and their team at the Outer East Football League. And as I say, again to the presidents and coaches of both clubs for providing me with plenty of details. Hadn't called either of these two teams today, so I hope I did it justice. But a terrific win by Warburton and Millgrove. They're 5 from 6 as they look for their first premiership and maybe an opportunity to go up into the top grade next year. A lot of football still to be played, so enjoy the footy show during the week and enjoy all your footy for the rest of the weekend and next week as well. Have a great weekend. We'll get some interviews for you. We'll also get some pictures of the winner of the goal of the day and mark of the day. And we'll also have Trent Dalton write up the article on the 5 points of things that you would only see if you're at the game, which we'll get to him later in the day. Have a great weekend. All the very best.